Today is going to be for blue eyes, so I'm going to be using some of those orangey, melony, beautiful colors for blue eyes, because if you'll look at the opposite end of our color wheel, you'll see that stuff that will make your eyes pop are the oranges and the yellows. Never fear, orange doesn't mean pumpkin orange. What we'll actually be using are these colors. Butterscotch, this one is from the Kohl's palette, which is beautiful. And this will actually be our brow bone color and our lid color. And then we have Tete a Tint from MAC. I think that Samoa Silk is very similar to this one. So if Tete a Tint isn't available, that one certainly can be used. From the Coastal Scents palette, these ones right in here would also be comparable. So maybe, let's see. Yeah, so this one on your in your crease, and the one right up above it on your brow bone and on your lid. So if you have the Coastal Scents palette, you can use that. And then also, I'm going to be using a dark chocolate brown, and so I would think that this one from the Coastal Scents palette would be the best one. But from my MAC, I'm going to be using Handwritten, which is a nice dark chocolate cocoa brown. And let's go ahead and get started. Because it's not a super smoky eye, I'm going to clean up my face first. I will be using the Norm and doing all the stuff that I typically do. Yeah, so L'Oreal True Match, all that kind of stuff. And see you in just a second, hopefully looking a lot better than this. Next, I will be using my beloved Urban Decay Primer Potion. Now I'm going to take this Tete a Tint, and because it's a very soft, light color, I'm going to be bold in going closer to my brow bone than normal, and I'm just using my 217 brush. Nice and floofy, getting a lot of product on there. And just windshield wiper motions back and forth. Like I said, going up to my brow bone. Right up there, you'll see I've deposited quite a bit of color. And for those of you that have blue eyes, you will really notice that it makes your eyes look even more blue, blue, blue. Okay, now I'm going to take my finger, and in this Butterscotch, I'm going to put it right here, going all the way across the lid, in that center. Sometimes I just love the way my finger deposits color so much more than a brush for certain areas. And then I'm going to use my 272, and I'm not going to go underneath my brow bone right here. I actually do like the color staying there, but I am going to go around this area, more so around the arch, and then extending it out a little bit and overlapping a little bit over that Tete a Tint that we just did, just to smooth out any edges that are there. Now I'm going to take my Merle Norman brush. This is Eyes number 3. I like that it has a tapered point like that. I'm going to take my Handwritten, and I'm literally going to like swirl the brush on it like that, because I'm going to be using the edges, and I'm staying in that outer corner / outer V and just kind of smudging it in there. We'll be using a brush to go over this, so don't worry about harsh lines at this point. Just get it to where you want it. I love the contrast with this dark, dark brown with this light butterscotch that we have right here. And then just pulling just a tiny bit into the crease. Just a little bit, just to give it a sense of flow. Okay, with that same brush, just get it right on the edges there, and we're gonna go underneath. The thing I like about this brush and using it underneath more so than a pencil brush to me, especially the MAC ones, I think it's 219, it's very stiff and it hurts a lot. I like this one because it is not those things. And also, I don't want a very precise line. I want this to be smudged. I want it to be a shadow underneath that looks like I've already taken a Q-tip to it and buffed it in, but I didn't need to take that extra step. I like it. All right, now I'm going to take my fluid line, MAC fluid line, and with my little craft store brush, I'm going to go on the underneath, the inside, each little spot right here. And then I'm just going to dot it right along the lash line, mostly just on the outside, just to give a little bit more definition for when I put my lashes on. I'm not going to go any further than that. Cap that on. If you don't keep these nice and closed, and if you keep them open constantly while you're doing different things, they'll dry out like crazy. Now, a quick coat of mascara. And while I'm letting that dry, I am going to be doing a bold brow today. Not as much as the Be Bold video, but along those same lines. I'm going to be using the same colors that I use every single day with the same brush that I use every single day. And I'm going to be going on top, the very, very, very most top edge of my brows, to create that look. And then going underneath, pulling it down ever so slightly. And really, after using that really bright color up on our brow bone, we need to make sure that we dust shadow over the actual hairs themselves, because they've lightened up quite a bit after using the brow bone color. So there we are, nice thick brow. I think that it's lovely to do a nice strong, bold brow when using lighter colors down below, because that could be your statement in this whole look. All right, now I'm gonna put on my Demi Wispies, and we'll be right back for the lips and the cheek color. Now, for some of you that put on your eyelashes and it's really, really hard to do, this is a trick that I've learned. I've seen a lot of YouTubers do it, but I've never done it because it looked too hard. But this is actually quite wonderful, putting your eyelashes on with your tweezers. My finger would typically be there and I couldn't really see where it was going. But with this, it's actually quite nice to put it on that way. Just grab the end, pull it, put it where I want, and especially in the middle here. Not only are you pinching and putting it down, but you can pull it out. And it is fabulous. I find myself now constantly reaching for my tweezers, trying to figure out where they are so that I can put on my lashes. So I just grab my lashes in the middle right there, squeeze really hard so I have a good grip on them. Usually place it in the middle first. I find also that I've been able to get closer to my lash line when I use this. It's really nice. I'm liking this color because it has some of those melony, orangey type colors. So that's why I chose this one. Because it is a little bit darker, use a very, very light touch though, unless you're going for a dark lip. And then I always contour on my face, but I also contour on my lips. So I fill in the outer corners. And a tiny bit on top. I'll be using Blonde Venus from NARS in the middle of my lip. And then honestly, I think it's like a Wet n Wild color, and I can't remember what it's called. I'll have to look on my page. But it's kind of this bronzy, brassy type color right there. I'll just be, where's my lip brush? I'll mix a little bit of those two together and do it. And then just put Blonde Venus in the middle. And then just with my finger taking that Blonde Venus, putting it in there. If you want more of an impact, you can use Myth. I'll show you what that would look like. Myth is just that very light skin color lipstick that's matte right down there at the bottom. And that is it for lips. And then just for cheek color, I decided to use something very, very light. So I grabbed my Nicole Miller, but just anything that's super, super light. We want our brows and our eyes to be the main focal point of this. This one is called Sweet Apricot. And I'm just gonna have that on my apples right there just for a warm glow. And that is basically it. If you see that there are areas in your lashes when they've dried that you need to go back and just dot some liner in, go ahead and do that. But other than that, that is your look for the day. I hope that you liked it. I hope that you'll do it. And send me in some pictures, especially those of you that have blue eyes. Show me how your eyes popped. All right, talk to you later. Bye.